Hello, thank you for stopping by. I'm so glad you're here. If you are just looking for the recipe, it will be written out in the description down below. And welcome to another video where I test random vintage recipes to see if they are easy to make, tasty to eat, and most importantly, affordable. Let's spin the wheel to see what we are going to be making today. A lot of work. Wobble, wobble, wobble. That was a lot of flippin' work. I hope it's tasty. MFC Buttermilk Pie. This is a cookbook my sister-in-law made several years ago now, with lots of family recipes in it. Nobody else has this cookbook except my family. And there is a recipe for buttermilk pie in there that I think is really interesting. I had it once at a funeral, unfortunately. You know, you have the spread out in the church. And it was a really tasty pie, so I think I want to try to recreate it myself. This is page 69. So Buttermilk Pie. This is by Patsy Renfro. I actually don't need anything from the store. I do need a cup of buttermilk, but I have some heavy cream that I need to use up, so I'm going to just add in a tablespoon of vinegar to the cup of heavy cream to let it sour, and I'm going to use that as the buttermilk. Do I have enough eggs? Oh no, I take that back. I need 3 eggs, I've only got 2. Okay. Gonna have to go to the store for eggs, but everything else is pretty much pantry staples. The only thing that most people probably wouldn't have in their pantry is Bisquick. I do though, because I learned to cook from these people. I keep the same stuff. I'm just gonna go grab some eggs and I'll come back and get into it. I am back from the store. It was a quick, simple trip. I went ahead and picked up some buttermilk since I was gonna be at the store anyways. I thought I might as well get the correct ingredient instead of having to make do. This is such a simple recipe, I thought you might as well do it right. I'm really excited to try this. Like I said, I've only had it once before. My sister-in-law compiled this cookbook, and the lady who submitted the recipe is one of her friends, so she's not a direct member of my immediate family. We're going to be starting off with 1 1/2 cup of sugar. Wow. No wonder I liked this so much. That is a sugar bomb. Now we need a 1/2 cup of Bisquick. And I thought I had some in the cabinet. I usually do. And I didn't even look before I went to the store. But I didn't have any. So I had to make some on the fly. Real simple. The recipe I used to make my own Bisquick was 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of butter. And I just mixed the butter in very, very well. We'll need a 1/3 cup of butter melted. So let me put this in the microwave real quick to melt it down. And while that's going, 1 cup of buttermilk, 3 eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And might as well finish the bottle off. There's just not even a full teaspoon left, so it'll be extra vanilla. I'm just mixing this together as I go. Nothing complicated, nothing fussy. Then I'm putting a 1/3 cup of melted butter in here. And I'm just pouring that into a pie plate. I went ahead and greased it, and I'm thinking it's probably pointless to grease it. But there you go. This is supposed to form its own crust. So we'll see how that goes. From what I remember, I think the combination of the sourness of the buttermilk and the sweetness from a lot of sugar is really, really appealing. So here you go. This is before baking. It's going to go into a 350-degree oven for 30 to 40 minutes. And let's see how this comes out. Oh yeah, that looks delicious. Wow, that looks amazing. Look at this thing. Oh, wow. This is definitely one of those things where you have to let it cool completely before you eat it. But man, doesn't that look tasty. A really interesting texture. Kind of caramelized a little bit on top. Almost so that I think what I'm going to do is put it back in the oven under the broiler for a couple of minutes just to get a nicer, darker caramelization on top. See how that goes. Make sure to keep my eye on it so it doesn't burn. All right, let's see what we got. This got a little bit more color to it. With the broiler, I didn't want to go too far because I didn't want the center to start burning and the edges were starting to get really dark. So maybe if I had a blowtorch to caramelize the top, that would be a good idea. But I did what I did. I'm just going to let this cool completely and then come back and give it a try. My first attempt at filming 2 videos simultaneously, and it's a hot mess. I'm never doing this again. But I'm doing a rigatoni with gin sauce. And that's gonna be my main meal. And then I'm gonna come back and have this for dessert. All right, this has cooled enough to serve now. I'm very excited. My lunch was pretty tasty. The rigatoni with gin sauce was more tasty than I was expecting, especially because I messed it up. Anyway, that's a different video. Let's give myself a slice of this pie. All right, that looks amazing. Let's dig in and take a bite. I guess you would describe this as a custard, but there's a little bit of a crumb to it from the flour in there. Kind of halfway between like cake and pie, I think. Oh, it's good. Very tasty. A little bit of a unique texture. Very sweet. But yeah, it is like, trying to describe it. I would describe it as being halfway between a creme brulee and a yellow cake. It's really interesting and very tasty for as easy as it was to make. There is a little bit of egginess, but in a good way. The pieces with the caramelization on the top are really, really delicious. The little crispiness from that. If you could get it more caramelized in the broiler, or if you had a blowtorch to caramelize the top, that would be aces. All right, I gotta stop. I don't want to finish this whole thing right now. I'm struggling to stop eating it so I can finish this video. Okay, cost-wise, so we do know that it was very, very easy to make. It is very tasty to eat. Let's figure out if it's affordable. Absolutely affordable. $4.30 for a whole pie. I'm always surprised at how much of a value baked goods are compared to buying in things, even from the grocery store, like a pack of cookies or a store-bought pie is going to cost you like 10 bucks. A homemade one is so much cheaper and so much more delicious. It's kind of surprising with baked goods, especially. I think a lot of people are kind of intimidated to attempt any baked goods, not realizing that there's so many out there that are very simple, because we mostly see the really complicated, fussy ones on TV. And it's not true. There's so many baked goods that are not complicated, not fussy. You don't have to be perfect and precise down to the milligram. It's not that serious. You just mix things together and go. So I highly recommend this one. If you can get the top a little bit more caramelized, that adds a little extra layer of tastiness. But that's all for today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps more than you can know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the future.